So what's going on, everybody? Dogman Dan here. Dauntless. Yeah, it's been a while. Um, some updates have come out, so I'm gonna kind of talk about this latest release, Open Beta 051, and some of the stuff that's in this is what we'll kind of talk about. Little gameplay going on in the background, but mostly just kind of talk about the updates that are out there. Yep, game is still around. For those of you or those of us that haven't actually bought Monster Hunter World yet, or maybe the people that can't spec it on their PCs, if you will, Dauntless is still here. Anyway, so a couple of different things. There's a few things going on inside of here. You got weapons, armor, supplies. Slayers are now able to craft and use the Charog exotics if they own the blueprint. The blueprint drops from the heroic firebrand and heroic patrols. Okay. Slayers can also now harness the power of the Sovereign by unlocking and crafting the Koshai Lantern. If I said that right. Koshai Lantern, yes. Then working hard to find a good balance for the chain blades. Basically, they want them to deal with vines more effectively and deal slightly more range damage. But the tuning changes they've made in the previous updates overshot the mark. So with this patch, it corrects that over-tuning, if you will, and narrows in more ideal values. They're going to continue to work on this. But some of the changes here, the chain fling combo will deal 50% less damage than they did in the Coming Storm update, 50% more than before the Coming Storm update. Okay, and Swinging Blades combo finisher deals 33% less damage and hits 33% less in the Coming Storm update, which is still 50% more than before the Coming Storm update, if you will. So they made some changes to kind of help balance it out. I do like the chain blades, so I'm going to keep playing around with them a lot. It's not the only weapon anymore that I like, though. We'll just say that. They reverted the upfront and sprinting stamina cost for the Warpike charge attack to where it was before the Coming Storm update. They also reverted the stamina cost for the Warpike 100 hand slap to its previous value. This basically corrects the stamina cost increase that was accidentally introduced in the last patch. And the Warpike is my other favorite weapon these days. Fixed a bug that caused the Warpike charge attack to double hit. Grenade damage now scales based on equipped weapon power. So this means that grenades will now deal greater damage when you equip Maelstrom or the heroic Maelstrom weapons, basically. Grenade damage now deals to the behemoth parts closest to the explosion rather than all parts in the area. This should also allow for better targeting of parts, improved damage numbers, reduced number spam, if you will. They fixed a bug that would, could, I should say, prevent the chain blades from doing damage to vines and Koshai at the end of the combos. The Predator cells can now be found by cracking cores. Okay. Behemoth lanterns have been given unique look based on the behemoths that they're crafted from. Okay, so basically form meets function now. The barrage and cold snap grenade clusters logic has actually been improved this time, resulting in increased chance for cluster damage on direct hits. Stride of Thorns will now correctly give an additional evasive fury bonus when upgraded to a +6. Takes a bit to upgrade though. Inferno and Cold Snap grenades now cost 1 Omnistone and 2 Slayer's Boon instead of 1 Omnistone and 3 Wrathwarts. So it's slightly different changes in terms of costing to craft them. Fix multiple bugs that caused armor pieces to clip into one another. and then fixed a bug that incorrectly caused the entire lantern to glow rather than just the aether inside. So we really haven't. I didn't really cover the coming storm update. I'll probably go back and do that. But they've already made some changes to some of the behemoths here. So the new Koshai behemoth, the Drask, the Hylian Pangar, Stormclaw, basically. So a couple things here on the Koshai, the or Koshi probably. It's how you say it. I'm probably saying it wrong. Vines now spawn more reliably during the stomp attack. The claw swipe attack no longer hits players on the wrong side of its body. It can now damage slayers when diving underground. The Hail of Thorn pods will now properly stun slayers on the hit. It can no longer leaves its aether state after fleeing, giving slayers more time to target its antlers. It's reduced damage and knockback on the head during the claw swipe attack. They improve targeting on the tail whip thorn projectile attack. They improved the aether state visuals for the limbs. They added new animations for shock stagger reaction, and a small thorn patch won't spawn as much at the same time. This should prevent many from appearing, or too many from appearing at once and overwhelming players. I know I haven't really even covered the new behemoth yet, so I'll have to get into that. I'm a little behind on doing some Dauntless stuff, so bear with me. I apologize. Drask. The Drask has received some balance improvements to make it fit better for its place in the progression system. Lightning breath attacks can now be outrun. They lengthen the telegraph on 180-degree tail spins, or tail swipes, I should say. Excuse me. Greatly lengthened and clarified the telegraph on the 360 tail swipe of the Drask. Okay. Now, for the Hylian and Pangar, or Hellion and Pangar, they improved the hitbox on the side gore attack and slowed down the windup to give players more of a chance to react. And then they improved the hitbox on the tail swing attack and reduced the damage done by the backswing. And then they also reduced the accuracy of the Hylian's unburrow attack. So it's a 360 no scope is basically nerfed, if you will. Also on Stormclaw, the Lightning Storm attack no longer requires a perfect dodge. Speedy Slayers can outrun it. So Thunder Rolls and Lightning Strike Down. The Stormclaw, Hylian, and Karabak have their power slightly reduced, making them less of a hard stop for players and more of a learning challenge. Pain is the best teacher, just saying. Okay, Behemoths will now combat more quickly if they are threatened. The Bloodfire Embermane will now stay down for longer after being interrupted, which is nice to have that happen. And it fixed a bug where the Skarn sometimes failed to aggro or even de-aggro when hit with grenades. Now there's a various bunch of QLL improvements. That would be quality of life stuff. Improve the way the banner cloths unfurl. Percentage-based damage increase buffs on things like Frenzy Toxic, Inspiring Pylons. They'll now properly increase the damage for weapon special attacks. Players using grenades will look more natural and less stiff. Chain blades can now pull vines to the pod to allow slayers to focus on pods to move through vines more easily. A couple different things like improve the appearance and the quality of the vines, the Koshai's vines, the whipped vines spawn from Koshi. We'll call it the Hail of Thorns, basically. Attacks will no longer stop Slayers from entering Tragic Echo. The damage radius for the Hail of Thorns has also been increased to better match the attack of the new visuals. Player cameras should no longer get stuck if they were staggered while aiming a grenade, if you will. Improve some CPU performance on the Sovereign's Throne. New offerings in the store as always. Fix the bug that caused players to automatically unsheath their weapon after every non-combat action, so things like harvesting, climbing, rocks, etc. And it fixed a couple of areas in Ramsgate where players could actually get stuck. Now they still have some issues where the behemoths will occasionally walk into like irregular patterns. Fix this basically by slaying them, if you will, at this point. But there's a whole bunch of other stuff. Um, this is the latest update that's out there, the 051. So that's kind of what I wanted to cover. We'll get back into covering the big coming storm update here, I think, and maybe get back into looking at some of these behemoths and different weapons and armor and how to play it and stuff over time as I get more videos out here, because I know I'm behind on my Dauntless content, and I apologize to everybody that did stop by for that. So anyway, that's basically just kind of the overview of all the stuff that came out on the August 14th release here, or the August 15th I should say, which is the 051 patch. Comments, questions below, and I will catch you guys soon.